challenges are our greatest teachers. You know, when people come into me and they're in a spiral of suffering, and the suffering really occurs because, you know, they're attached to some idea of themselves, some identification of how they should be, how the world should be, how their partner should be. And of course, as we know, life usually gives us something else as we're making great plans. And so when I look back on my life, I see that my greatest gifts have been born out of my greatest challenges. You know, my capacity to hold deep, abiding, truth-telling space for people has come from me being down in the darkest dregs of my own internal suffering and void. Right? So there's something about being human that it's paradoxical. And I believe that the heart really can understand paradox. The mind is in the world of duality, you know, and in duality there's always going to be this or that. There's right or wrong. There's good, there's bad. There's either or, there's yes, but. And so that just keeps us in the, you know, the samsara wheel of trying to figure it out. When we really look at who we are as human beings, and I say that word very thoughtfully, that we are, you know, beings who have human forms. What I've come to appreciate is the more I have confidence in my being, the less suffering and strife I create in my own world or bring to the world. So whatever we're here to learn about as a being, because it is a topsy-turvy human world, reality, I always tell people you're going to learn it through the opposite. I.e., if I'm here to learn about self-acceptance, I'm probably going to create a pretty good workshop here on planet Earth about rejecting myself. If I'm here to really, really understand the essence of freedom, I'm very, very likely to create an experience of physical, mental, emotional, metaphorical entrapment, feeling imprisoned on the path to freedom, because that's the way it seems to work. There, you know, to get there, you know, it's like whatever our greatest fears are, on the other side of those, if we're willing to work with them, lie our greatest dreams. Mm-hmm. So are we willing to do that again and again? And when we look out at the world right now, it's like, oh my gosh, there's so much to trigger our nervous systems about what's going wrong, the whole right-wrong mentality, what's going wrong, how things are collapsing, and our fears, our nervous systems have become more and more habituated to looking at others as being a problem, looking at ourselves as being a problem, looking at life as something to be solved, whatever it is. And so I'm all for, hey, wait a minute. Can we take a breath and actually start to acknowledge what's going on first and foremost in our body? What feedback am I getting in my body right now about what's happening? Can we learn to navigate through our feeling body? You know, we are feeling beings, sentient beings, and that's part of our navigational system. That's part of what this work's about. And then can we start to see this trickster that's here for our survival and is here trying to get our needs met, called egoic mind. You know, this is the kind of mime I do, pantomime I do for egoic mind, because it's just a circular pattern of thought that believes what it believes. And a lot of times it's just running us. But can we start to see that for what it is? Not make it wrong, but just see it for what it is. And start to use the mind for what I think its highest capacity is, which is observing and noticing what's happening in this moment.